Hey guys, Charles Floate, and welcome back to one of the probably what is very few and probably the very final video of 2020 for me. That is something that I want to talk about straight away. Next year, I'm going to change the schedule of YouTube. I'm going to be doing hopefully some daily uploads starting in February, and I'm going to be doing a ton more YouTube content. I literally so far have over 25 videos planned for YouTube already, so there's a ton more content coming out next year because this year I've been so away from this platform that I think it really deserves a lot more attention than I've been giving it. So welcome to the 2020 Christmas Core Update Analysis video. I have named it the Christmas Core Update. I don't know if anyone else wants to name it whatever they want, but that is what we're going with in this video. This is the gift of giving ALGO wisdom. I'm going to be going through all of my early findings because I won't be making any more videos after this week and after this one specifically. So I wanted to get this one out as early as possible with as much information as possible, and when I had a fully rounded kind of opinion on what had happened. And once I'd had a few days of settled SERPs to be able to go through and do some proper analysis, as well as speak to a bunch of other SEOs, go through other SEOs' findings, look at other SEO sharings, and as well as all the people that have just been sharing stuff with me from the community that DM me, message me on Discord, etc, etc. It's all really helpful and it all contributes to these analysis videos and how I'm able to get them out so early for all of you guys. So I really hope you're going to enjoy what I've got for you today because it's going to be a hell of a video. I just want to say as a precursor as well to this video that these are very early findings. But it's the holidays after all. I can't be sharing you these my full update analysis on Christmas Day. I'm going to be taking some time off very shortly as well. So I wanted to get something out, at least get something out to you guys, as I always do with these kind of major updates. So as always, take everything with a grain of salt. Don't take this as serious, exact 110% analysis. This is not guaranteed 110% advice. And as always, DM me your reports. If you've got something to report, if you're majorly up, if you're majorly down, my Twitter is open. You can always send something over to me as a DM. So let's start off by diving into what the update was all about itself. So starting off by Google actually announced it, and they've been doing this more frequently since Danny Sullivan became the Google search liaison. They've been announcing it on Twitter, so make sure you are following them for every single time they announce an update so that you can go and check your rankings. But they announced on December the 3rd. We've really started seeing things kick off with this broad core algorithm update on December the 4th though. Generally because it was the evening time when they announced it, so obviously it probably rolled over into the next day. But again, Google are claiming it's a broad core update, which generally means that it affects most of the on-page and backlink related signals, and it's a core update affecting most ranking signals. I'm not so sure that is 110% the case with this update, because it tended to favour some certain things over some other things, which we'll be getting into later on. As well as the fact that we actually saw an update that was extremely similar to this update on November the 24th and November the 25th that went kind of unreported. I know that there was a lot of talk on November the 17th about an update, but what we did was we correlated any movement on November the 17th to any movement in the foreign SERPs. We didn't really see any, whereas there's quite a lot of movement in the SERPs on November the 24th and November the 25th in the foreign SERPs as well, which would correlate with an update happening more on those dates versus the 17th, which was quite a frequently used date. And I also saw that a lot of people literally had sites get tanked on the 24th, though we hadn't seen any reports of any people getting it as getting those sites bouncing back on the December update, which likely means that it isn't a rollback of the November the 24th and 25th update, which some people have also suggested. So about the update again, the SERP volatility was kicking off big time on November the 24th and 25th, and as you can see, it was also kicking off December the 3rd and December the 4th. You'll see that SEMrush has also marked the potential update on November the 17th, though again, I think they should move that update to November the 24th. From our research, it was much more volatile on those days across the entire international landscape. So the update itself actually started to calm down on the 5th, and as you'll see, unlike other updates, it actually affected foreign SERPs at the same time as it affected English SERPs, which is kind of new. It normally foreign SERPs, so for example, Germany here, which I have in the SEMrush sensor, would normally see an algorithm update, even if it was announced. It would normally happen a day, 2 days, 3 days afterwards, and normally it wouldn't be as normally effective as or as normally the same as it would be in the English SERPs, though it seems to be exactly the same kind of effects in the other SERPs as it does here, which also shows more towards the fact that it's a link-based update because it had such a heavy effect on foreign SERPs versus Google's ability to understand all of those different foreign languages. It's very unlikely that a content update would have been able to dive into so many different languages and affect them so wildly, whereas a link update is so much easier to affect all these different foreign languages, which is also another sign of why it's more to do with links. So it's cleaning up some analysis. I know a lot of people wanted to sound smart and talk about this, where they were talking about it's not link related, it's content related, blah, 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 blah. I have some sites with tons of links. Those sites are fine, but there is one site which has 0 link, I mean it, and it just started getting traffic and now it is tanked. That is the entire analysis they have done to conclude that this is not a link-related algorithm. Well, in fact, sir, according to my analysis, when you have a website with 0 backlinks, it can still be affected by link-based algorithms because competitors with backlinks can still go up whilst you go down, which is also another reason for it to affect you, as well as the fact that if authority is suddenly so much more important and you do not have any, you likely will not win in that algorithm update and you will likely lose, as well as this fact, lose substantially. So, as well as the fact that link-based algorithms doesn't necessarily mean that it just accounts for links, considering that links are actually within content after all. Most backlinks, the ones that Google counts, obviously because other ones outside of content tend to be cloaking-based, that they actually only tend to count the ones within the content, footer stuff, navigation, etc. doesn't really get counted anymore, generally because SEO's ruined it for Google. So any within content links, or at least have a substantially more effect. So link-based algorithms at the end of the day can still affect your content because you can have too many links within your content, you can not have enough links within your content, you can have not done links properly, you can have no links to your content, etc, etc, etc. There can be so many reasons why it can affect you, even if you don't have any backlinks whatsoever. So, considering there is so many people spewing so many different things out there, who at the end of the day should you actually follow then? So I recommend, starting number 1, Eric Lantries. This guy is an amazing data scientist from America that understands algorithm updates and has a ton of analysis, like pretty much no one else I ever met in the entire market. He will only give you his opinions based on factual data that he has found and he has analysed himself, which gives you a ton of awesome stuff, though most of it will be within his paid community, My Traffic Research, though again, I highly recommend picking up that subscription. Marie Haynes is an amazing Canadian lady who is awesome at telling you the entire spectrum of white hat SEO and probably the #1 penalty removal expert in the entire world. She also gives a ton of update analysis videos. She has clients that are recovering from penalties and recovering from updates and recovering from all sorts of things from even years ago. So she generally posts screenshots of sites that have gone up because of such reasons, etc, etc. And then next up we have Glenn Gabe, who generally does a blog post most updates with a ton of awesome analysis based on sites that based on large sites, because he tends to do more corporate and enterprise level SEO. Lily Ray works for Path Interactive, who I have a slide coming up about, which is amazing stuff. Every single time there's an update, she'll post a winners and losers from the update, which is absolutely fantastic data. I don't see anyone else even competing with her level of stuff. Mordy Oberstein, the owner of Rank Ranger, a fantastic dude that always posts amazing stuff about niches that have been affected, certain aspects that have been affected, such as elements on the page, etc, links, that kind of thing. And then Tools, SERProot and Systrix normally release data either via their email list, via their blog, or via internal tool kind of stuff. That allows you to basically go in there and see, as well as the fact that you can also use those tools to go and analyze algorithm updates yourself. No affiliate links included for that one. And like we have been seeing throughout the course of the last several years, spammers have been winning again at the start of algorithm updates. It always seems to be the case that there's some early tweaks within the algorithm that just allow SpamRD and spam sites and hackers to absolutely take over and dominate the early game algorithm updates. Things do seem to balance out like they have done over the next few days now, but even some SERPs are still teeming with sites that should not be there. And also for the first time ever, which is absolutely surprising, it was actually a drop in the number of HTTPS first sites that were ranking within the top 10 and 20. That was absolutely incredible to me that we saw Google favoring non-secure sites. It wasn't a huge percentage. It was, within the 1 or 2% range, but it was still enough of a percentage that caused a shock to the system where you didn't expect a signal like that to be favored. So again, things do seem to be balancing out again now, but it was just crazy that spam seems to be winning again. And if anyone out there was spamming the hell out of the SERPs, you probably just made yourself 1 million visitors in those couple of days of being able to do it, because some of the SERPs that were being taken over had huge monthly search counts. And again, with recurring themes, YouTube dominating again. The biggest winner out of the entire update, according to Lily Ray, and her analysis has been absolutely fire recently, like I said earlier, was YouTube. Google's own properties taking over, dominating. There must be some magic resource at YouTube where their SEO team is some of the best people in the entire world for them to be able to pull off a 57% visual gain. But that's absolutely incredible. Congratulations to the YouTube team. Absolutely nothing to do with their corporate interests in Google whatsoever. So again, shout out to Lily Ray and the Path Interactive team. The biggest winner, YouTube obviously. eBay won massively. Facebook won. LinkedIn won. Twitter won. Instagram won. Twitter and YouTube seem to be winning every single update actually, but that again might feed into corporate relationships. Amazon, massive loser, the biggest loser by far, and Pinterest again, pretty much up there, pretty much almost the exact same thing. I've been waiting for Pinterest to lose some of its stride recently. They've been gaining way too much traffic from Google and been doing a ton of weird spam stuff with absolutely no link building going to these pages whatsoever, which generally is another sign that it might be affecting things, because those pages are totally thin content with basically nothing on them. Exact same kind of story with Amazon. Most of their category pages don't have any content, tends to be link based. If you have better links, you tend to have actually beaten Amazon and Pinterest. A lot of smaller businesses have been winning in this update because those sites have been losing, which is fantastic news. So aside from the big major players where it's very easy to see their visual gains and losses, who did it actually affect? So starting off, YM World niches were hit hard. I feel sorry for the health SEO teams. Good luck to you and analysing an update every single 3 months and trying to feed into whatever the hell Google is wanting out of you guys. From what it seems, it is not an August or Medic replay. It does not seem to be anywhere near similar to that algorithm update whatsoever. It does not seem to be pointing in those kind of signs. Again, another sign of something that does not seem to be link-based is feature snippets did not really change. From our tools and our counts and our analysis of a couple million SERPs, we did not see even a 0.5% difference in featured snippet changes, which generally means that the feature snippets, which are generally content-based, haven't been affected. So if you're holding on to feature snippets, great for you. Though again, it is tend to be niche focused, because feature snippets in the travel niche, for example, have changed a lot. Though that could be again due to COVID regulations, etc. There's a lot of stuff that could be affecting how Google is changing things, because this algorithm update does seem to have some kind of COVID element to it. Maybe it's just because all the vaccines are coming out, Google are trying to counter all of the fake news, whatever, around vaccines. I have no idea. News and e-com have been the major two affected industries. Now, I don't know if e-com is just residual effects from Black Friday, because so many people add, delete, 301, etc. pages over that time period that it can really affect those sites. And especially going into an algorithm update, the last thing you want is 10 pages, 301, and a bunch of broken links and a bunch of stuff going all over your site in the middle of an update. So that could have caused a lot of e-com sites to fluctuate anyway. News alone just seems to have been hit massively and changed massively. A lot of feature snippets been dropping out of the news section recently as well. Map packs not really heavily affected. So local SEO people, it doesn't seem this update is 110% for you or targeting you. So you don't need to be worrying too much, though I haven't been able to have a ton of analysis of local SEO organic SERPs, so I wouldn't be able to put a concrete answer to if you've been affected with that. If you're massively into local SEO, put in the comments how busy this algorithm has been for you, basically. And next up, what did it affect? Now you can see this is a pretty short list because I don't want to give concrete answers around some things. There are some things that will be added to this list, and I'll probably share that in the SEO Exchange Discord and maybe on Twitter and things later on. But those are not confirmed. I haven't been able to do enough analysis of those things to be putting them in this video yet. These things, however, are pretty much concrete to my knowledge now and to my understanding because of how many test pages I have that have been affected because of these, where they're single variable tests, where it's literally only a niche edit to that page, it's only a 301, it's only that kind of thing. So it can only be that singular thing affecting it, and it's not just a one page. We have 10, 100 pages to be able to test these different things, depending on how important they are to our testing. So first up is low authority niche edits seem to be the worst losses in the entire industry. It seems to be broken link building, link insertions, niche edits, those kind of things that are low authority seem to be losing very, very hard. Bear in mind that actually high authority niche edits, though again, as I'm pointing out in the next point, authority overall is just winning, so that might be the reason why. High authority niche edits do seem to be winning, and I have a lot of reports and I have a lot of test pages that are doing very, very well off DR 70, 80, 90 niche edit pages. So don't take it as niche edits are bad, because they are not. It's just that I would not be building low authority niche edits right now. And the update seems to have really affected some people that are using those updates. And again, I've had SEOs that have done their own analysis and concluded that it can only have been the niche edits that have caused those problems. So authority winning over time and every single time is just one of the recurring factors that I am saying in every single update video. If you have got a DR80, if you have got a DR70, if you've got a DR90, congratulations, you are winning every single year right now. It's just kind of absurd at this point that it's anything to do with authority, whether it be backlinks, mentions, content, posts, whatever, they're all absolutely dominating if it's on a high authority domain. Thin content lost. That's again more signs from the Pinterest and Amazon losing out again because they're so thin content based. Anything that doesn't really have any substance of real words for Google to understand on a page lost, basically. It didn't even matter if it was high authority. It seemed to lose quite badly. Obviously, there are going to be exceptions to the rule for this, and also there are going to be some people that are going to complain about sites that are ranking with no content, but actually they do have content because it's just internally linked across the rest of the site, etc. And then 301s and redirects in general losing out massively. I saw a lot of big sites that were ranking previously for even years at a time, basically using redirects, lose massively in this update. So again, another thing that you want to be kind of staying away is the updates. So what should you actually focus on then in this update and going into maybe 2021? So besides this video, in the coming month or coming 2 months or so, I will be releasing my SEO 2021 video where you'll be able to get my predictions and everything for the new year. But if you want to recover from this algorithm update and you have been negatively affected by it, then you should be focusing on high authority link building efforts, your content depth, link audits and disavowals, and then video content. Video content is just one that everybody can focus on because Google seems to be focusing so heavily on endorsing YouTube right now. And finally, of course, stay tuned for more. This is super early on with this algorithm update, and I won't be releasing more content on this YouTube channel until the new year. You need to be following me on Twitter. You need to be in the Discord community. You need to be everywhere I am if you want to be getting all of the latest algorithm update analysis and news from myself, because I won't be releasing anything until the next year on this channel. Thank you for watching. I really, really hope you enjoyed this video and you got a ton of analysis and updates and all that good stuff out of it. You can go and join in with my live algo chats at SEO.exchange. You can follow me on Twitter at Charles_SEO. And if you want to access any of my other SEO training, premium and free, you can go to gumroad.com/CharlesFloat. All of the links from this video, including Lily's one as well, which is an amazing post, is down in the description below. Thank you. Peace.